Hi, I'm Roger Love, and I'm here today with my friends at Roland, and we have one goal. We want to teach you how to be great singers, recording artists, live singers, anything you want to do with your voice. Maybe you've spent a lot of time working on your programming or learning to play a different instrument, but you've forgotten maybe about the greatest instrument you have because no one taught you a technique and simple tips to take you from wherever you are vocally and transform you into the A game of amazing singers that you should be. Now, I've been doing this a long time. When I was 16 years old, I was already the voice coach for the Beach Boys and the Jacksons and Earth, Wind & Fire. And over the years, I've had the great opportunity of working with some of the most incredible singers in the world. Rock bands like Poison and Def Leppard and Motley Crue and Cinderella and Fish and The Killers, and pop artists like John Mayer and Gwen Stefani, rappers like Eminem, and singers like Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato, and groups like the Jonas Brothers. I'm always into working with whatever the latest talent is out there, and there's no reason that you can't be singing incredibly. And that's why Roland and I have come together to make sure that there's an easy way for you to do just that. Now, today, in this first video, what I want to do is I want to give you the main secret as to what has separated me from all the other voice teachers since I was 16 years old. And it's simple, and you'll be able to understand and do it. Most people think that there are really only two voices inside of the human voice. There's a voice down low, which most of you speak at, and it's called chest voice. If you say, ah, and you even put your hand down the base part of your neck right here. Ah, you can feel it kind of vibrating at the top part of your chest, the low part of your neck. That's called chest voice because it just feels like it vibrates there. Then most people know that there's another voice way higher than your speaking voice, way higher than your chest voice, and that's called head voice. And it sounds like, ah. So you have chest voice on the bottom, ah, and you have head voice on the top, but there's a problem when you try to go back and forth between the two voices. There's a break. There's an area where you don't know what to do. So you'll be singing and you'll be like, ah, big break, ah, another break, ah, back to chest. And you'll be like, oh my gosh. So you'll all of a sudden try to just sing everything really, really low, below the break. Or you'll try to sing your songs really, really high, above the break, because there's no way for you to get back and forth seamlessly without any transition problems. But that is an incredible limiting way of looking at the capabilities of your voice, because I've learned that there's another voice, which we call the middle voice, and it is my secret weapon. The middle voice changes everything. I already demonstrated what it's like to go from chest to head without a middle, with that big break, but if I put a middle in, ah, now suddenly you can sing all the way up and down the range without any pressure, without any straining, and all of those notes in the songs that you were thinking were too hard for you, they're not going to be too hard for you. So what is this middle and how do you get it? Let me explain, okay? The voice is a string instrument and a wind instrument, okay? So it's like a guitar or a piano, so the length of the string matters, right? If I'm going to play the guitar, and if I want to strum the guitar and have the whole length of string vibrate, brum, all of the string vibrates and I get low tones. As I bring my fingers closer and my hands closer to one another, what happens to the pitch? It gets higher. Why? Because the string is getting shorter, and the shorter the string gets, the higher the pitch. Well, the vocal cords work in a similar fashion. When you're in chest voice, the vocal cords are really supposed to be big, long, and fat, and they're supposed to open and close. And that's why chest voice has a big, fat sound, because it's using all of the string. Now, when you go to middle voice, part of the string, your vocal cords, are supposed to close so that in middle voice, you're only using about half of the vocal cords. And then in head voice, you're only using about a third of the vocal cords. The problem is, most of you get stuck in chest voice and you don't allow the vocal cords to get to that half position. Why? Usually because you're straining, because you're just getting louder and you're pushing more air and you're closing up your throat so that when you get to the top part of your chest voice, the vocal cords are freaking out because they're sending so much air at them that all they can do is just try to fight back the air. But when you understand what middle voice really is, you'll realize that you're only supposed to stay in chest voice for a man up until about E or F, and for a woman up until about an A. And then you have to start looking for middle voice. And middle voice has a sound and a feeling. When I'm in chest voice, I explained, I kind of feel like chest voice feels like it vibrates right here at the top part of my chest. But when I'm in middle, I kind of feel like the resonance is behind my nose, behind my eyes a little bit. Watch, chest. Ah, feels like down here where I speak. Middle voice. Mom. I kind of feel like it's, like I said, right behind my nose. So when I'm going higher in the range, and more specifically, when you're going higher in the range trying to sing, you have to say, okay, wow, here I am at the top notes, the high notes. I feel like I'm tightening my stomach and I'm squeezing my buttocks cheeks together and my two eyebrows have become one eyebrow and I'm getting louder, but I have to stop doing that. I have to say, okay, what's this middle voice? First tip, don't get louder at the high notes. When you get louder, as I said, the voice is a wind instrument too. When you get louder, a ton of air goes to the vocal cords and that freaks the vocal cords out. So simply, as you're singing towards the high notes, don't get louder. Number two thing, when you're singing towards the high notes, looking for middle, you're going to try to feel that the resonance is behind your nose. Don't freak out when you feel that. That's a good thing. Third thing, you're not going to want to go wide with the corners of your mouth at the top part of the chest, because that'll also keep you stuck in chest. So you're going to control the volume, not get louder as you get higher. 2, you're going to look to try to feel the resonance up behind your nose. And 3, you're not going to sing wide with the corners of your mouth. If you start with those few tips and you start heading up the range without getting louder, without going wider, you will start to find middle voice. Okay? It's that simple. And later on, I'll give you some exercises to specifically help you hook up that middle voice. Now, I really appreciate your time. And in the next video, we're going to talk about diaphragmatic breathing, because you could never be a great singer if you don't breathe right, along with putting your chords in the right place. So, together with my friends at Roland, I'm Roger Love, and I'll see you soon.
Would you like to improve your voice and singing skills? Now you can have the tools and training methods the pros use in the palm of your hand. Introducing the revolutionary Roland VT12 Vocal Trainer. It has a built-in tuner and metronome to help you perfect your intonation and timing. From contemporary to classical, student to professional, rehearsal studio to green room, the VT12 is the ultimate pocket-sized tuner, metronome, trainer, accompanist, and recorder, just for vocalists.